Welcome beloveds, welcome back to my channel. This is Nikita. I am a psychologist and a trained and certified psychotherapist. My expertise is in cognitive therapy. So I am a Team CBT Level 2 certified therapist from Feeling Good Institute, California. Team CBT, that is Team Cognitive Behavior Therapy, is introduced by Dr. David Burns, which is an advanced model of cognitive behavior therapy. We are continuing with our series Be Your Own Therapist, and forgive me for making this session recording this session after a really long time. I'll make sure that I'll be a bit regular, if not frequent, on my channel, but yes, I'll be regular. And so in the last session, I gave you an introduction to cognitive therapy, and in today's session, I'll be discussing about the first principle of cognitive therapy. Please do watch my last video, Introduction to Cognitive Therapy. Okay. So the first principle of cognitive therapy is all your moods. All your moods are created by your own thoughts or cognitions. By moods, I mean the feelings you feel. So we feel different feelings throughout the day. Now there is a difference between moods and feelings, yes. So mood is something which is there, like as it is, the emotion part, and feeling is something that it's more like a roller coaster thing, that you feel something, let's say like you have different set of feelings in the morning, then as the days goes by you may feel something else. But your moods are which are very stagnant and repetitive patterns or tendencies that reflects more of some, maybe some unresolved issues as well at some time, which because of an unexpected event, circumstance, situation might get trigger at any point of time. So basically what you have to understand in the first principle of cognitive therapy is that your moods, all your feelings are created by your own cognitions or thoughts. Now what do I mean by cognitions? So cognitions are basically what you are thinking. So your attitudes, your beliefs, your perspective, your perception, meaning the meaning you give to the external event that has happened. Okay. So for example, let's take up 3-4 situations. So for example, your boss calls you, and so just I'll give you the situation and see what thoughts first comes into your mind. Okay. So for example, the first one is your boss calls you, your boss or supervisor, or someone complimented you for your work or for the way you look or you have dressed up on that particular day, or maybe somebody commented something on social media, or let's say you received an unexpected news or a phone call from a dear one. So this all are external events, right? Now as the events occur, you are experiencing some emotional response to it, but between that are your cognitions. So as that external event occurred, what meaning you gave to that external event, what perspective you came up with, what kind of attitude you showed, what thoughts, what thinking patterns surfaced up as you confronted or as you were expected to face that external event. That creates your moods, that creates your feelings, that creates your emotional response. So it is about the way you interpret things. मतलब कि बाहर एक्सटर्नली कोई भी इवेंट हो सकता है, और फिर आप उस इवेंट को लेके क्या मतलब देते हो, उसको क्या मीनिंग देते हो, that is determining your moods, that is determining your emotional response. So for example, this video, suppose you are watching this video, okay, Now I'll just take up a random any three people. So let's say these three people have three different perspectives about my this video. Okay, so let's say for first person thinks that how can she say that it's not about external event but my thoughts, that the situation is really negative. What it has to do with my thoughts? This is completely wrong. It's a bullshit. So let's say the first person thinks like that. Let's say the second person thinks that, oh, this is so fascinating that there is something over which I have a control or I can do something, and it's so fascinating that my thoughts are having such an impact on my emotion. Let me continue watching it and let's see what is next in this. And let's say a third person thinks, I have tried everything, nothing has worked for me. Another self-help video, I mean, people just don't understand. जिस पे बीतती है उस पे ही बीतती है, something like that. Okay, so you saw that for the same video, meaning for this same external event, three different perspectives were there, three different interpretation and attitudes were there. एंड जिस तरीके से जिसने जो थॉट सोचा होगा उस हिसाब से उसका इमोशनल रिस्पॉन्स होगा. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हेन द फर्स्ट पर्सन थॉट दैट this is a bullshit, how can the external thing be just neutral, let's say, and my own thoughts are negative. So the person is going to feel anger or frustration as an emotional response. The second person who is so fascinated about this idea may feel hopeful or encouraged, and the third person who sounds more like who has given up is likely to feel maybe hopeless or discouraged. So the same situation, the same external event, and three different reactions, three different moods, three different emotional responses. Why? Because of the attitude they gave, the perspective, the interpretation they gave to the external event. So the first principle is that all your moods are created by your cognitions or thoughts, means what you say to what has happened, that determines your emotional response. That's how you create your moods. Okay, again I repeat, whatever is happening externally, and it could be internally as well. Well, externally I gave you some situations, right? Internally, I mean, suppose you were so fully or meaningfully engaged in some work or anything, and suddenly a thought came up, or let's say suddenly an image or memory of some incident or experience just popped up all of a sudden in your mind. That is the internal experience. तो उसको लेके भी what thoughts are you thinking, what you say about that internal event or what you say about that external event, that interpretation determines your mood or your emotional responses. So this is the first principle of cognitive therapy. In fact, whatever you are thinking, even right now, right in this moment while you are watching this video or doing anything, even what you are feeling right now, right at this moment, is because of the thoughts you are thinking. So this is the first principle of cognitive therapy. All your moods are created by your cognitions or your thoughts. Now here is a simple yet very important exercise for all of you, and kindly support by doing these exercises. I am sure it will do you good. So, well, there is a procedure to be followed, but just considering the first principle in my mind, you can try with this. Pick up any 3 to 4 situations that will take up both positive and negative, so that you too realize the difference that is there. So you may start with any unpleasant or difficult situation. So write briefly about that in first column, and in the second column write down by asking yourself, when that happened, what was I telling myself? What was I thinking? मैं अपने आप को क्या बोल रही थी, मैं क्या सोच रहा था? what was I telling myself? What were my thoughts? And note your thoughts. Okay? And then take a pause and come up with another rational response, a more helpful thought. And then you see how you are feeling. So basically this exercise will help you first to start keeping track of your thoughts and understand that your thoughts are creating your moods. And you can use this in your own way for both positive and negative situations, and then train yourself that how you can be mindful of your thoughts and how you can change it. So once again I summarize, whatever you are feeling, your emotional responses are determined by your moods. What you say, what you have to say, that is what is creating your moods. Even what you are thinking right in this moment, what you are feeling right in this moment is coming from the thoughts you are thinking. So do the exercise, share this video with everyone. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.